What's going on, YouTube? This is BBSP coming back for another video. You know what I mean? I want to give my thoughts, you know what I mean, on the recent events in the NBA, especially now that there's a new super team in the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, you know, and I'm not, a conspiracy theorist, but at the same time, man, like, you're seeing a lot of people's hypocrisies start to come out. A lot of people's hypocrisies, a lot of people's lying. You're seeing a lot of people's biases starting to come out now. Especially now. Like, this whole thing with James Harden and Kyrie Irving. I got mixed feelings about James Harden, man. Like, I don't know, man. I think he's a great player, number one. But number two, like, I don't know, man. It's like he's just, I don't know how to describe this dude, man. Like, for me, I just, he's been, when it comes to the regular season, he's a dynamo, okay? He's a regular season dynamo. He does everything, you know what I mean? He gives you everything. Led the league in scoring, putting up record number X amount of games or whatever, right? So, but then when it comes to the playoffs, when things get tight, things get real tight and everything, like, he just comes up short. And I don't agree with how he went about getting his ass to Brooklyn at all, you know what I mean? Because you may not like your teammates, you may not be in a certain situation, but you know what? It's a better way to go about it, man. You don't have to go and say, well, this team is not good enough, or you have to go and shit on your teammates. But I just think he could have went about it a whole different way. And it's kind of not fair that he gets rewarded for it, you know what I mean? Because he basically shitted on his colleagues, his teammates, his confidants. And part of John Wall, part of DeMarcus Cousins is probably glad he's out of that locker room. But then again, I want to use James Harden. You know what I mean? People came down on James Harden, and in some instances, rightfully so. But people are giving Kyrie Irving a pass for his bullshit behavior, his fake so-called fake woke, which I don't believe in. You know what I mean? This is the same guy back in like 2016 had like a white girl boat party and shit, you know? And this guy, you want to talk about a nutcase? You want to talk about somebody that's don't got them all? That's Kyrie Irving. One day he's on the left, and the next day he's doing some other bullshit. For me, you got a lot of people out here that expose their biases, expose their so-called, agenda. And it's like they attack James Harden for the same things Kyrie Irving is doing. You know? And it seemed like to me, people just want to, give Kyrie Irving a pass for his bullshit, but they wanted to dump on James Harden for basically doing the same thing. I mean, which is it, you know? I mean, I don't understand it, I don't get it, but I know what it is. I know what it is. You know, you got people out here with biasness. You got people out here with such and such or whatever. You know, but like I said before, it's all biases going on right now, man. People got their certain agendas. You know what I mean? And they're getting their hypocrisy is getting exposed right here, right now with this whole situation. But for me, to be honest, I think they staged this entire shit, man. I really do. Like I said again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but at the same goddamn time, they acting a fool. Both James Harden and Kyrie Irving's acting a fool. You know, but I think they staged this shit. I really do. You know, there was no way James Harden could get to Brooklyn, without them giving up Kyrie Irving. They probably didn't want to give up Kyrie Irving. But from what I understand, Kyrie Irving's still away from the team. But who knows? Like, either one or two things are happening. Like I said before, it's a goddamn coup right now, okay? It's a goddamn coup. Either they planned this all together to put the wool over everybody's eyes, number one, or number two, they got this as an insurance policy just in case Kyrie Irving don't come back, because they got to do everything in their power to keep Kevin Durant content. And if they don't keep Kevin Durant content, he's liable to flip his damn self. He's liable to, say some things on social media, get an account or whatever, get fake accounts and like make up certain shit to the point where he's upset with the Brooklyn Nets organization. But either one or two things is happening, man. But like I said before, for me, either Kyrie Irving's not coming back and James Harden is like a safeguard to where they're keeping Kevin Durant content, or this is one big ass coup to where all three of them playing this shit. And like I told you before, I'm not big on conspiracy theories. I'm not big on that conspiracy theory shit, but you gotta think at the same goddamn time, both James Harden and Kyrie Irving acted a damn fool. Okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say, you got some people out here that's already crowning Brooklyn Nets world champs, right? Because they're a so-called super team. People don't realize that you can have three superstars together, but you don't have no kind of depth. You don't have no kind of balance. You're not gonna win anything. We saw that first time with the Miami Heat in 2011. See, they were top heavy, right? A lot of super teams, either they succeed or they fail. Not every super team was successful. That first year in Miami, they had no kind of depth. After the big three with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, there wasn't much to that. It wasn't much, and eventually it caught up to it. I mean, I'm not making an excuse because LeBron did play a part in that, and that's probably one of the very few series that LeBron James didn't show up. I mean, he played a part. He played his role in that, and when you think about it, they should have beaten the Dallas Mavericks because they were more talented. But then again, like I said before, that Miami Heat team wasn't very deep. This New Jersey Nets team is not very deep. And without a serviceable big man, number one, and without depth, you can maybe get away with it for a round or two. But when you get to playing these better teams who have depth, like the Lakers, Clippers, Sixers, maybe the Bucks, maybe the Celtics, it's gonna be a problem for them. I see them getting to the finals, maybe, possibly, but I don't see no scenario where they beat the Lakers if they get there. Because number one, the Lakers got depth and they got balance, and they got nobody that can guard AD down low. And they have nobody that can stop LeBron from being efficient scoring the ball. I mean, they can score 120 points all they want. They can do it all they want. But once the Lakers bench comes in, I'm just doing this hypothetically speaking. If this is the fight, if their Laker bench comes in, right, what is that bench for the Nets gonna do? I mean, you may have one, maybe two of Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, or Kevin Durant, James Harden. But if you don't have balance, I don't care how talented you are, you're not gonna win in any kind of championships. We saw this in 2004 also. Los Angeles Lakers with the Big Four: Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, and what happened to them? They happened to them more They lost to a more well-balanced team than the Detroit Pistons. You know what I mean? So, like I said before, this may sound crazy, this may sound funny, but it's no given they come out the Eastern Conference. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, a team like the 76ers and the Celtics make some minor tweaks to their roster here and there and add more depth. Are you going to go with the team that has more depth and also superstars on their team, or are you going to go with the top-heavy team which has virtually no kind of bench, no kind of backups, and they got to play 40 minutes a night? And speaking of that, do you really want Kevin Durant playing heavy minutes in the playoffs after coming off of a major injury in Achilles? Not saying he can't do it, but that's a whole lot to ask coming off a major injury like that. And also, Kyrie Irving's injury prone. Is he going to be up for, hypothetically speaking, if he does come back, is he even going to be up for that shit? You know what I mean? And James Harden dribbling the ball out, just dribble, no kind of spacing, no kind of continuity on offense. I mean, how's that even gonna work? I mean, it might work a couple of rounds when you play lesser teams, but you play in the better teams as you go advance in the playoffs, right? You play in the better teams as you advance in the playoffs. As you advance in the playoffs, this is just common sense. You understand? So, hell, let's make up a scenario if they don't even play the Lakers in the final. They get to the finals, right? They play the Clippers. I think the Clippers will get more hard time because Clippers are just got a little bit more depth. The only problem with the Clippers is they still have chemistry issues. And it's kind of reared its ugly heads this season. So for me, like I said before, they gotta show and prove, man. They gotta show and prove. And like I told you before, not every super team wins the championship. Just think about way back when Houston Rockets tried it twice. Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon. They didn't win a championship. Then they tried it once again with Scottie Pippen once Clyde Drexler retired back in 1998. Like I said, let's go to 2004. Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton, Carmelo. That didn't work. They ultimately came up short. 2013, Kobe, Dwight Howard, Steve Nash. That ultimately blew up. So like I said, just because on paper the names are sexy doesn't mean it's going to actually work. Not every super team wins the championship. You understand what I mean? So all this notion that New Jersey Nets, I'm thinking about the 90s. Brooklyn Nets. All this notion that the Brooklyn Nets are going to just come out like gangbusters and nobody's going to beat them is like, we need to pump the brakes. We really need to pump the brakes. We got to consider the situation, construction of the team, and how everything comes about. But everybody, I noticed too that all the people who want LeBron to lose, hoping LeBron to lose, it's a lot of hypocrites right now in the media and abroad. There are people on here, you got people on here that was capping for Golden State because LeBron was losing to them. Then you had get on the Clippers bandwagon last year. And now those same people who were rooting for the Clippers are now getting on this Brooklyn Nets super team. I mean, people talk about they dick around LeBron a lot. What do you call jumping from team to team that has a chance that's a competitor to LeBron James? I feel like it's just a lot of hypocrisy going on here, and that's why I root for LeBron James, personally myself, because I feel like some of the hate he gets is unwarranted. Is he a diva? Once again, absolutely. Has he done things behind the scenes where I particularly didn't agree with? For sure. But then again, like, people take their personal agendas and like apply it to LeBron. Well, I feel like it's bullshit to me. They act like this man has to play 1-on-5 to win the championship. And like, Kevin Durant can have all the All Stars. You know, he can have all the All Stars in the world. This man has played with Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, James Harden twice, Kyrie Irving. But yet, if LeBron gets one superstar, it's the end of the world, end of the goddamn world, and people want to discredit championships. Every championship he's won, people like put an asterisk by it, and I feel like it's like people don't keep the same energy, man, when it comes to that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like people's personal agendas get in the way of every damn thing. You understand? So it's like, okay, just say you rooting for Brooklyn Nets. Don't try to say that you're biased, you're unbiased, and you're being fair. Because you got a lot of people that still want LeBron to lose. They still want LeBron to lose. Because number one, you got a lot of Michael Jordan fans out here. Me personally, I'm the biggest Jordan fan around. You understand? I think he's the GOAT. And I think that's gonna be unchallenged, me personally. But you got a lot of obsessive Jordan fans where they don't want to see LeBron win, period. And you got Kobe fans, God rest his soul, rest in peace, that are probably worse. They're probably worse. You understand what I mean? So it's like, okay, this man can't win for losing. So for me, we need to hold the same standard to the Brooklyn Nets that we did whatever team LeBron James is on. You understand? So we need to give the Brooklyn Nets, if they don't at least get to the finals this year, we need to give them the same energy that we give everybody else. That's all I'm saying. But we're not going to get that because there's too many people, too many hypocrites, and too many people with agendas out here. But we're not going to get that shit. But hey, end of the day, it is what it is, man. People got their own agendas, and people love, it's the way of the world, man. People love seeing certain people fail. They get a kick out of that shit. They get a rise out of that shit. Like thriving off another man's shortcomings. But hey, it is what it is, man. I don't roll like that, But tell me what y'all think.